Hello and welcome to Scribes and Songsters. I'm Veronique Mandel. With us today is Matt Romain, but you may know him as the Laughtertainer. He has animated huge puppets for the Toronto Symphony Orchestra at Roy Thompson Hall in Toronto. Matt is a musician, songwriter, and educator and has been entertaining audiences for 45 years. He is also well known across Canada for his work as a puppeteer. He's entertained at parties and on television. The Ontario Arts Council has called him Ontario's best puppeteer. And now we're going to let Matt Romain, the Laughtertainer himself, introduce himself to you. Here he is.
Hello, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the Laughtertainer. How do you do? I'm here to bring some laughtertainment to you. I'm here for a while, I'll make you smile and give you a laugh or two. I'm the Laughtertainer, that's what I do. Oh, is that puppet dancing good? Yeah, that puppet's dancing good. Is he moving like he should? Yeah, he's moving like he should. Like he should, dancing good, watching out his little foot.
Wow, Matt, welcome.
Thank you.
Now, tell me about that theme song.
Oh, well, when I rebranded myself as the Laughtertainer, first of all, I needed a name. And my sister suggested, take two words and make them one word. And Laughtertainer was where I landed on that. And wanted to let people know what a Laughtertainer was and what he did. And my daughter said, write a song about it. You do about everything else. So I did. Me being the age I am, grew up on Bugs Bunny, so it ended up sounding very, Warner Brother-ish.
Yeah.
And I'm the Laughtertainer, and this is what I do.
Yeah, I liked it. So there's so much to talk about, but take me back to Matt Romain, the little boy. Were you interested in puppets as a little boy?
Well, I was interested in lots of things as a little boy. Magic was one of them.
Yeah.
Music was always around in the house. I'm the youngest of 8 kids, and my brothers always were playing folk instruments, and there was music being played all the time.
Yeah.
So, that became part of my life very easily. Puppets were in there, but it was really high school. That's when the puppets took root.
So tell me what happened.
Oh, well, let's see. English class. My teacher said, this is the one to introduce to my friend, the puppeteer from Germany. She had a touring German puppet show. It was Punch and Judy. You've all heard of Punch and Judy. It's that, the evil puppet that beats his wife and throws a baby out the window and grinds his wife up into sausages and feeds her to the alligators. Good old-timey,
joyful,
wholesome. And she needed someone to be a puppeteer for this touring thing. And my English teacher said, yes, I got somebody. And
Did she ever tell you what it was about you that made her feel that way?
I'd like to think I was easy to get along with, but I don't know what it was. She probably saw I was a mischief maker. I learned to work hand puppets, this kind, where these are the hands and this is the head, and you pick up things and beat the other puppets with it in the ancient tradition of doing so.
Yeah.
And after having so much fun with that, touring from library to library, it kind of gets into your blood. Puppetry is just such a magical art form. Because, first of all, you can't not look at a puppet. So your audience is just glued to whatever you're doing. And because they're trying to make sense of what they're looking at, the audience is just so invested. It's just a rag on a stick. But you say, oh, but that could be a head and that could be a hand. And when it tilts like that, when I tilt my head like that, I'm thinking. So it must be thinking. So our brain takes over and fills in the gaps. Yeah. And so there's this constant interplay between the audience and the puppeteer the whole time. Yeah, it's almost like a conversation.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating. But when did you realize that you had a real knack for it?
Wow. When I was asked to teach it. at the university, they needed someone to teach a puppetry course.
And how long had you been doing it by that time?
I'd been doing it maybe 10 years or something like that. And when you have to teach something, you have to break down everything into steps. So it was a real process trying to find out what it is I did. And at that point, I said, hey, nobody taught me this. I just had a sense of what works and what doesn't. Me and a mirror. And at some point, I even stopped moving my lips and became a ventriloquist. So there was that to teach as well. Yeah.
So now, when you were in high school and you started doing this, how did your friends respond? Did they think that you were cool?
Oh, it's not cool.
When did you realize that you would make this as a profession, that this was your career?
Well, early on, my girlfriend and I made a bunch of puppets, and
I remember.
Yeah, we did something for a church group, and someone else called and said, "We saw you at that event. How much do you charge?" And we looked at each other and said, "Charge? Ooh, $20." And oh, is that all? Each? Yeah, we realized this could be a living. Ended up being good at it. And adding music into the whole mix just makes it even more so.
Yeah. What was it like getting this career off the ground? I mean, were you poor for a long time?
Oh, I still am. You don't make a lot of money, Veronique, but you make a lot of friends and make a lot of people happy.
Where did you perform? Did that evolve?
Libraries and community groups. And then other people hear about you, and children's entertainment series in different towns. They have these things actually on stages, and they start hiring you in for that. And you get on these touring circuits. If you're any good at all, you tour further and further. So we toured our shows all across Canada. And you said earlier, the Ontario Arts Council pegged us as Ontario's best puppeteer. Well, that was a number of years ago, and I'm sure there are other better puppeteers from year to year, but that was a badge of honor.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good thing to put on a resume when you're looking for another job or looking for gigs, whatever, right? Yeah. And so when did you start traveling?
Oh, well, early on, we got on that touring circuit, and, we toured the different provinces, and we were when you're on the road, you just are on the road. So I have a son whose birthday was celebrated in a different town every year until he was in his teens and said, "I'm not doing this anymore." You can go on tour without me.
Both coasts?
Yes. As far as Vancouver, a lot of residents up in northern Alberta in the reses there, and Vancouver and all the way to Newfoundland. We've done the Newfoundland circuit a couple of times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I bet they appreciated you.
Joey Smallwood built a theater in every town, and it was a wonderful gig going to Newfoundland. You got the whole island. And every theater looks exactly the same, so you know just where to go and what to set up.
He knew how to get votes.
Yeah, he did.
But it was great because Newfoundlanders are great theater people and love entertainment and entertaining.
Yeah.
So you would have had fun.
Yeah, it was great.
So what did your kids think? Do they think you're cool?
Oh my, yes. Those poor kids, they followed in their dad's footsteps. They're both of them musicians, and musicians are always struggling, financially. So both of them chose to live in the most expensive part of Canada. They're on the west coast, in Vancouver and Victoria. But both of them put me to shame musically. They're excellent musicians and in high demand.
Oh, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, and artists as well in their own right.
So you play the ukulele is a very sort of forefront instrument, but you play other instruments.
Well, I started on the guitar, didn't I? That's what my brothers had. And one Christmas, my brother got a new guitar and said, "Ooh, take this. Go learn to play that," he says to me. And I was 12 years old at the time. And I had these these two guitar heroes right in the house, and they taught me everything they knew. And I soon moved to the banjo after that, and penny whistles and harmonica, and I built a concertina. There's a fellow in Windsor who builds them, and he's a friend of mine, and he helped me build a concertina. So yeah, lots of different instruments. And that comes in really handy when you're putting on puppet shows, because you need different qualities of sound for different sorts of puppets.
Yeah. And do you write your own scenarios?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But writing shows was always, it started with lots of coffee in the back of an envelope. And we'd sit in a coffee shop until we decided we had a show.
Wow.
Yeah.
How many have you written?
Oh, if I were to guess, I could count them, but about 20 different shows. And some of the shows were made up of mini shows. So, an hour's worth of entertainment would have a play, a couple of songs, and another shorter play. But when, we went our separate ways, and the Join Hands Puppeteers.
Yes, that's
was
what
no
I
more.
remember.
It became time to rebrand. So the Laughtertainer was where I landed. I had other one-man shows. Captain Matt's Treasure Hunt was very popular. Dress up like the friendly sailor, and I'd have all my different puppets, the villains and the friends, and did a whole lot of ventriloquism. And then I wrote another show about a medicine show, if you recall what that is. Medicine show is the old-timey guy who looks like Colonel Sanders, and he's going to sell you this elixir that's good for your sore feet and your sore head and everything in between.
Cures everything.
Yeah. And so I got into character with that and all of the different puppets. This one's all the way from Brazil, and they weren't very good, but then they had my elixir, and now look at them dance. These poor decrepit grasshoppers, watch them go now. And so lots of different animal puppets. So I stole little bits and pieces of those characters. Captain Matt had a very sharp wit, and Colonel Quackhorn had a lot of showmanship. And when it came time for me to rebrand, you're kind of shy when you're just out there doing your thing and everything. But when you put persona, now I'm the Laughtertainer. And the Laughtertainer can say things that Matthew Romain wouldn't.
Right.
So you're kind of hiding behind a persona, and everybody wins.
Yeah. Well, let's meet some of your friends.
Oh, well. Hey, I brought this little fella here. Once upon a time, when I was running the Captain Matt show, Wyerton, Ontario called up and said, "We want you to come to the Wyerton Festival and bring Wyerton Willie." Okay, I will make a groundhog. And I made this beautiful groundhog. I didn't know what a groundhog was. I was looking all over for a picture. There was no internet at the time. We're in a picture of a groundhog. I don't know what it looks like. And finally, in a footnote, it said groundhog, also known as woodchuck. Oh, well, a woodchuck is lots of pictures. And I made a beautiful brown woodchuck. And a few days before the festival, I got stuff in the mail from Wyerton, and it advertised Wyerton Willie, the world's only albino groundhog. There's no spray painting this thing. I had to get some white fabric. I couldn't find the right kind of fabric. And then, I just made this thing and gave away the brown one. Are you coming, Willie? Yeah, here I am. Here it is. And I've had this puppet ever since. Oh. He's a favorite to bring into classrooms.
What's that? Testing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice voice.
Who's that?
We might hire you.
Veronique.
Veronica?
No, Veronique.
Veronica.
No, Veronique.
I can't say Veronique. What's your name?
Veronique.
Easier for you to say.
Yeah. Do you want a short version?
Sure.
Okay, Vero. How about that?
Vero.
Yeah. Does that work?
Vero is my hero.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Willie. So how much of the time do you think you're accurate?
I don't even know what that means.
Accurate. How many times you write?
Oh,
Yeah.
me? I'm always right. Don't ask him, though.
Oh,
He's not right usually.
but you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So do you like being on television when they put all the cameras in your face? And...
No, I get nervous.
Oh.
That's why I hide in the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How come you got your baseball?
You know why.
He loves baseball because it's, spring training and it's all having to do with spring.
Yeah.
So do you get to go to watch baseball games?
What? No, I'm on the team.
Oh, pardon
With the
me.
Wyerton Junior Sluggers.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
are you
position do you play?
What?
What position?
Standing up.
No. You're either playing first base, second base. What position? Pitcher, catcher?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Cheerleader.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cheerleader.
oh,
Well, somebody's got to do it. It's a good job.
All right. Yeah.
okay. Are you good at it?
Oh, yeah. Watch. Give me a W.
W.
Give me a... That's as far as I got.
You don't know how to spell it, do you?
No.
But you're having a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you coming to visit.
You tired?
Yeah.
Oh, we're keeping you up, are
Yeah,
we?
it's past my bedtime.
You're going to go on your back?
Okay.
Wait. Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Hey, she said goodbye.
I heard her.
Hey, hey, come here.
Oh, you're
When
cheeky.
someone says goodbye, what do you say?
Nothing.
Willie, come here. You say goodbye, Willie.
Goodbye, Willie.
All right. That's a close enough.
Oh, he's adorable. Okay, who else did you bring?
Well, I brought a couple of fun puppets to, brought one that dances.
All right.
I play at the downtown Windsor Farmers Market as a regular gig. And I made a series of puppets. I hook onto my ukulele. Everything's ukulele powered. And so I got plugs up here and down in there, something to hang from. Here's one of my dancing puppets. This is...
What's he called?
Well, I call him Tingaleo, but sometimes we call him Sonora,
Yeah.
like the song Harry Belafonte.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Right.
So it's like a... Shake, 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 Sonora. Shake your body line. Shake, 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 Sonora. Shake it all the time. Full of springs and magnets and all kinds of things just to keep them moving.
Wow. I bet the kids love it.
Yeah. It's all about balance making these things. So that you do a little jig like this and it can wiggle the hips back and forth. And you do big motions and the arms start going. You can even the
What do you use to make puppets?
Oh, well, like I say, a lot of spring wire, magnets like crazy. You want feet to stay put on a metal surface. And then fabrics, paper mache, styrofoam balls, whatever you have, whatever's going to work. I made something else here for one of the songs. I'm always writing songs or writing spoof songs, like good old Weird Al Yankovic style. And I wanted to do this, the Bachman-Turner Overdrive.
Yeah.
Taking care of business.
Yes.
I'm singing along with the radio one day. I found myself saying, taking care of beeswax, like when you were a little kid. Saying, taking care of beeswax. And it got me thinking about rewriting the song to be about bees. In the end, I wanted to write a song about bees and based on Randy Bachman's Taking Care of Business. So I decided to name him Randy B. See, like Randy Bachman, Randy B. And knowing what you know about bees, the males, because they only have one job, that's to mate with the queen. So Randy B sounds like a really good name for And I can plug this in like so, and it is able to dance on its own, just like that, strum his little thing.
Right.
Well, I wake up in the morning, we start our swarming. We're looking all over the city. We keep our eyes peeled for a garden or a field full of blossoms. They look so pretty. People ask me what's the buzz. We're happy just because we found a fragrant all-you-can-eat buffet. Yeah, those flowers are calling and they're all full of pollen. We love to eat that nectar all day. And we be taking care of beeswax every day. Taking care of beeswax every way. Yeah, we be taking care of beeswax in the hive. Taking care of it like Bachman-Turner Overdrive. taking care of beeswax.
So now I can see why kids would be riveted, but how do grown-ups respond?
How do you respond, grown up?
I love it.
It's not a kid's thing. You know, the Muppets came along and made things very popular again.
Yeah.
Puppetry, once upon a time, was an adult theater. And it still is in many parts of the world. But you would get a babysitter so that you and your wife could go out and see a puppet show. And you can see why. It's captivating. Somebody approached me at the market and said, "You've got kids dancing around here, but this stuff's not for kids." I said, "I know. I'm entertained myself." He said, "You got to get into the old folks' homes." And so I gave him a call, the retirement homes and the care homes, and they responded. And so that's one of my favorite things to do now is I've made 9 different adult concerts. 9 different ones, so I can go back to the same places again and again.
Yeah.
And I've got like Taking Care of Beeswax and King of the Road and all these good old timey things they'd recognize, and they have puppets that go with them.
Now you do it in French. You do some in French, don't you? Well, it works.
Yeah.
The Gingerbread Man.
Right. What do we call him in French? Le bonhomme de pain d'épices.
Right.
The good fellow of bread that is spicy. Yeah, that was a little ditty I made up. In English, I was going, the gingerbread man, sweet and spicy and oh so nice. He's the gingerbread man, he's my favorite treat. I realized there was no Christmas song about a gingerbread man, and we kind of needed one. And of course, there's a puppet that goes with it, and the puppet gets eaten bit by bit.
In the tradition of Punch and Judy.
Yeah, sure. Gingerbread sausage.
And the Big Rock Candy Mountain.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot of throwback music.
There is. I call it old-timey.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of old-timey music. Well, again, I grew up with my brothers singing hippie music, but one of my brothers was really into older stuff, and he would play a lot of Fats Waller and things like that.
Yeah.
And that got me in that direction. So even at the market, the kids will say, do that one, some old-timey music. What's that one? Yeah. See, that's not something that a kid would normally request, but they're all dancing to Mr. Sandman. Bring me a dream. They're even singing the words. Make her the cutest that I've ever seen. Give her 2 lips like roses and clover. Tell her that her lonesome nights are over. I've got a dancing puppet for that one too.
It's interesting that the kids love the tone of that music.
Yeah. So much of it is just translatable. I think the old-timey music, everybody knew that we're all just big kids.
Yeah.
Do you remember, let's see, how do I... Boop, boop, did-em, dat-em, wat-em, choot. Boop, boop, did-em, dat-em, wat-em, choot. Do you know this one?
No.
Oh, the Andrews sisters did it. And they swam all over the dam. I've rewritten that one about 4 little fishies. The fishies named Boop, Boop, Did-em, Dat-em, Wat-em, and Choo. And they go swimming away from their mother, and they get into trouble with the shark, and they follow a whale to get back home, and they're safe back over the dam.
And you busker?
A busk. Well, I do busking. I call that busking at the market. Busking, I think, just means leave your hat out and people throw change in there.
Yeah.
Just about everything I do is busking, one kind or another, I suppose, without the hat.
Yeah.
But the old timey music lends itself to that idea too, right?
Absolutely.
The guy in the street corner in Vancouver, I met a man called Dan, the One Man Band. And he inspired me when I was a teenager. So many people, you look back at your life and see how many people have inspired you to be who you are today. I've taken bits and pieces of the different characters I've made. But I came across at a garage sale an old magic kit that I had when I was a kid. And on the cover was this wacky looking magician with a cape and a monocle and this, and I looked at the picture and I said, I have become that. I grew up to be that guy.
Now, do you do specific themes for if you busk or if you're doing other things?
Yeah, well, when you have a vast repertoire, as I've built up over the years, at the Kingsville Migration Festival, I got a show all about different birds, and it's hosted by the Wawa goose, the Canadian goose.
Yeah.
And I've got puppets for everything too. Hundreds and hundreds of puppets to choose from.
So what does this whole puppetry mean to you? What does it do for you?
Well, it feeds me. And if I stop doing it, I will die. I think it's that well ingrained. If I don't play music and work these puppets, and it kind of defines me, because it's all of these puppets are your friends, and all of this music is familiar, and it's your life. So
where do you go next?
Well, any place someone will ask me. You give me a call, I'll show up. If it's a festival, it's a birthday party, like you said, the Toronto Symphony. I've made these huge 25-foot puppets and got dance companies to operate them, because dancers understand movement better than actors, And then I'll go and do a birthday party in somebody's living room and everything in between.
Well, we'll keep an eye out for you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
It's kind of, a little bit of a travel down memory lane, because I remember you from the Join Hands puppet days.
Yeah.
It's lovely. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Wow. Well, that's it for a very entertaining half hour here on Scribes and Songsters. My thanks to special guest Matthew Romain and his other guests. Many thanks to our Scribes and Songsters team, producer Brian Sweet, and technical producer and editor Gary Glass. Grateful thanks to Tony Toldo and the Toldo Foundation, and to Neil and Tina Queering for their support. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you soon, right back here on Scribes and Songsters. I'm Veronique Mandel. Bye for now.